Thank you all. So the next topic is network and security. The topic name is network and security. So I'm not completing the complete network and security concepts here. So we have a separate topic and service is VPC. So in that area, I will completely talk about VPC, public IP address, private IP address and all. Okay. So today I'll explain about these components. So what is the importance to the EC2 services? So what is meaning of security group? What is the meaning of security group? Example, suppose this is a EC2 instance. Okay. EC2 instance. So the EC2 instance is created in cloud. Hmm? So this is your laptop or desktop, whatever it is. This is your PC, your system. So with this system, you're trying to connect the EC2 services, right? So how you're connecting this particular session from your system to EC2 depends on the operating system you will be getting connected. Suppose this is Windows EC2 instance, okay? Windows 16 EC2 instance. So Windows system you'll be connecting from, okay? You'll be connecting from MSTSC. You'll be connecting from MSTSC. MSTSC. With that you are connecting. That you know, right? Username and password. After entering the username and password from your system, okay, it will ask the username and password after entering that, and it's trying to connect this machine. But between your instance and your system, there is a mediator will be there. There is a firewall. There is a firewall will be available. Example, this is the firewall is available. So this is a firewall. So what is a firewall? It acts as a security. It acts as a security to managing the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. Right. So security group. So here inbound rule, outbound rule will be there. So I don't want to talk about outbound rule. I need an inbound rule. So whatever the traffic is coming from outside means it's incoming. So we are connecting MSTSC, right? This traffic is RDP traffic. RDP traffic. Port number 3389. We should allow in the incoming. So then only the communication will happen to access it. Suppose you have Linux operating system. You have a Linux operating system. Example, Amazon Linux 2 is installed. So how you will be getting connected from your system to this particular Linux machine? Same again, this security group only, either different security group, we need to allow, okay? We need to allow This is a SSH connection, right? So SSH port number 22 we need to allow. So this complete job will be taken care by security group. Security group is nothing but it is a firewall of Amazon EC2 instances. Are you clear? Security group is nothing but it's a firewall of Amazon EC2 instances. If it is a blocking, you're not able to communicate the server. Any other questions about security group? No? So basically, the security groups, by default, one security group will be available each region. This is called default security group. In real-time environment, we will not use a default security group. We will create a custom security group like this. So right now, we are in initial stage to learn the basic knowledge. Going forward, when we are working on with scenarios, there we will create a new security group. We will allow special incoming rules and outgoing rules, and we will configure it. Okay? So until unless we are not creating it. Until unless we are not creating it. Are you clear? So sometimes you are getting this kind of error. So don't worry about that. Go back to the main screen, main dashboard screen, and you have to log in back and log in. I'm connecting this console since morning. So that's why, because of as per security reasons, it'll be logged out on login back. So here inbound rules is there, outbound rules are available. Easy to manage it. Okay. So next, elastic IP address. What is meaning of elastic IP address? So by default, there is no elastic IP address in the particular region. Not only this region, any regions, no elastic IP address. So elastic IP address is nothing but it is a public IP address for the EC2 instance or maybe any network devices. So basically, whenever you're creating EC2 instances, one public IP, one private IP address will be created by default. You know, right? Public IP address is used to connecting the instance and managing publicly. And for internally, we can use a private IP address. So public IP address is the internet IP. So it will be a chargeable, but AWS is providing free of cost. But this IP address is not a permanent address for you, for this system. For you or your system, this is not a permanent IP address. It's a dynamic IP address. Okay, let me clarify this. I'm copying this IP address, open the notepad. Okay, I just paste here. Now I'm shutting down the server. Please check once the machine is shut down. Okay, this particular public IP address will be removed for this instance.
Rajesh, one doubt.
Yes, please.
Last time we added one HTML page in the public with in the web server location, right? And we able to access that page with the public IP only, right?
Yes.
So now this IP, now when you are refreshing, this is keep on changing, right?
Not refreshing. When you shut down the instance, okay,
Yeah.
when I shut down the instance, that IP address will be removed. Okay.
Uh,
Again, when I power on this, okay, this new IP address will get generated again. You can see.
mm,
Previously, this is IP address. Okay.
mm,
Now again, I shut down, I power on. Let's see, you can check that what is IP address.
okay.
See, different IP address we are getting.
Okay, but if we want to access with IP address, then whenever we shut down and restart start again, then IP address get changed, right? So how
Yes.
the end user will know?
That's a main problem. So to solve this, we need to assign elastic IP address. If you assign elastic IP address to the server, the IP address is a permanent. It will not change.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
It's a
okay.
static public IP address. Static public IP address.
So that is the reason we are going to use Elastic IP into this scenario.
Okay. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, okay, okay,
Now
right.
I'm going to create a new elastic IP address. Allocate elastic IP address from the pool for the US East one. So before you want to take it, and you have to check that which region. So right now, North Virginia. That means US East 1. See, okay. Now I'm going to take the one public IP address. One public IP is generated. Now this public IP address I'll be noting down in the notepad. Okay. This is EIP, elastic IP address. Okay. Now this IP address I'm going to assign to the instance. Okay. Associate. Now can go to instances. It is changed. Got it right? Previously it is a 44.214.104.57. Now it's changed to 34.195.211.230. Now, after assigning the elastic IP address, I'm going to shut down the server. Okay? Now the instance is stopped, right? Now can select here, still public IP is there. That's the beauty of elastic IP address, but it is a chargeable. It's not a free. Okay? Don't keep more than 24 hours. Once you practice, you please remove this IP address. You please release this IP address. So first you want to release, first you want to deassociate elastic IP address from the instance, then you want to release it. Okay. That's it. Any questions in elastic IP address?
But in real scenario, that server IP most probably won't change, right? So in that scenario, how the cost will be for this Elastic IP?
Elastic means is a public IP, internet. Okay.
Mm.
So that's a dedicated we are taking, right? That IP. So it will be chargeable. So example, you can call your internet service provider. You can ask a dedicated public IP address. They will charge nearly 250 rupees plus taxes.
Okay.
Monthly charges. So here also per hour charges will be there.
Mm. Okay.
Any other question? No? Next, placement groups. What is a placement group? So placement group is nothing but you're creating instances, right? The instances are creating on the Amazon EC2 data center. Right? Example, this is one instance. This is one instance. Right? And this is one instance. Right? This is one instance and this is one instance. And do you know where these instances are created? Any idea? No. Only we have an idea. These instances are created in so-and-so region, so-and-so availability zone. So do you have any guarantee these two servers are created in same server, same hypervisor? No, right? No idea also. No idea. So now we can manage the instances with the placement group by creating a different strategy methods are there. Cluster, spread, and partition. We can discuss about the cluster. Cluster means grouping of servers in a single entity, and we have to manage it. So let me show you. AWS placement group. You can see this cluster means what? Cluster means what? Packs instances close together inside availability zone. Okay. So within the availability zone, the instances are grouping together. So packing together. So that is called cluster. So this strategy enables workload to achieve the low latency network performance necessary for tightly coupled node to node communication that is typically of a high performance computing application. Let me tell you the example. So this is one availability zone. The instances are created. All the instances are created in this particular region in single availability zone. So that's the reason if all the servers are in single availability zone, this server can communicate to this server can communicate to this server. All the servers are communicating each other with the least time. So they'll not take much time to communicating. So that will give the low latency network. Low latency network is the best network connection. Okay. And these servers are closely working together directly. Okay. Within the same data center, same network. So we have a good performance. So if any applications you are delivered in this particular clustered group instances, and you may expect the higher performance you feel by the customer. That is called cluster. So going forward, if you want to create any missions in the cluster, what we will do, first you have to create a cluster, give the name anything, example, cluster demo, and you can create a group like this. Next, when you want to create a instance from the instance console, click on the instance. Listen carefully. Now I'm creating the server's name is cluster demo, right? Cluster demo. I'm creating Linux machines only. So all are free, no changes at all. Okay, all of default steps, same existing security group. Go to advanced. See here, there is a concept called placement group. Okay, you can drop down list, whatever the cluster demo you created, you can select and you can come here and you can give the number 2. So 2 servers you are creating in the cluster. When you click launch, it is failed because the free tier eligible machines are not eligible to create a cluster. So cluster means high performance application. Free tier machine is a 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU. How you can create for a cluster? That is not eligible. Practically, that's not eligible. Click on edit configuration. Click on edit configuration. Go to the instance type, and you can scroll down. And you can select a somewhat good performance server like a 16 virtual CPUs. I'm selecting 16 virtual CPUs and 30 GB memory, and 8 GB memory is there. I'm selecting 8 GB memory. So I want to reduce the cost for my billing, and launch in instances. When I click the launch instance, maybe it will compatible or not, I don't know. Let's see that. No, still it is not acceptable. Again, edit configuration, go back. Okay, 8 CPUs and 32 GB of RAM. Maybe it will work. No. Let me check the Google. Any names are mentioned here? AWS, cluster placement group, compatibility, instance types. Okay, you can see here. When you launch an instance of a cluster placement group, you must use one of the following instance type. General purpose A1. A1 I can use it. So go to compare instances. A1. A1. Okay. This is not available. Maybe large, not available. Extra large, not available. Because of your free tier, right? It's a main reason. Clear filter. I'll go for M4 at least. Okay, finally, I created 2 instances. You can go to view all instances. Now 2 instances are creating. See, both are creating in the same data center. Both are creating in the same data center. That means same availability zone. That's the beauty of cluster. That's the beauty of cluster. So both are in the same network means we have a good low latency network connection. The applications can be delivered in a perfect way. Applications can be delivered perfect way. So next, what is the next method? Go to placement group, create a placement group. Next is a partition. Partition. You can see this partition placement group in the same availability zone. We have a small groups will be created. Within the group, the instances are mapped together. So maybe is a partition 1, partition 2, partition 3. Three groups are there. So three different groups are they placed it. So even this is a larger applications. If you want to deliver it in your environment, you can create a small groups to maintain the servers in a single availability zone. So what is the main benefit out of it? What is the main benefit out of it in this partition placement group? You can read this particular para, you'll get more information. So partition placement groups helps reduce the likelihood of a correlated hardware failure for your application. Example, these partition 1 will be created in one hardware, partition 2 will be created in one hardware, partition 3 will be created in one hardware. Suppose the partition 1 hardware is a failed, only these applications are failure, but remaining applications also, remaining servers also same applications, but 2 and 3 will be very safe. That's the reason we are creating the partition placement group. Understand? When using the partition placement group, Amazon EC2 divides each group into the logical segment called the partitions. Amazon EC2 ensures that each partition within placement group, that is a own set of rack. So this partition means separate rack. Partition 2 means separate rack. Partition 3 means separate rack. So if partition 1 rack server is down, these servers only down, but these 2 and 3 will be very safe. But in a cluster, all the servers, if you're creating in a single cluster, maybe 20, 30, all the servers, okay, if that particular rack is failed, all the servers will be gone. All the servers will be gone. So the majority of a cluster will be cut down into small group with a different hardware server. That's a rack server. That's one of the best one. So which one is the best for your more number of servers if you maintain? Partition will be better. Partition will be a better. So you can create a minimum 1 partition to maximum 7 partitions you can create. Same concept, no changes at all. Same concept. When you're creating an instance, go to the advanced option, select the partition 1, partition 2, partition 3. That's it. We have a 7 groups you can create. Any other question? Any other question? No? Thank you. Moving to the last one, spread placement. Spread placement. So you can understand, right? Each individual missions should be in a different server. Okay. So a spread placement is a group of instances that are each placed in the distincted hardware. So different hardware will be creating. One server in one hardware, second server will be second hardware. Is a more benefit. Okay. So that we have a different, all servers are same applications, but different hardware. We can create in a spread method. But all the servers are in same availability zone, same region. So which are the best you can suitable for your application? If you need a more high availability, you can choose the particular method. So this is a very important questions in an interview. So please read very carefully and you can answer that. So lab is very easy. Next, keypads. So you guys, you know keypads. So keypads are using to create a password for the instances. In case if a keypad is lost, that's it. You have to delete that and you have to create a new keypad for assign to the instances. Once you are creating assign that instance to during that key creation, we have to download and keep it in a safe location. Keypads we are not using always. We have a Active Directory. With the Active Directory password, we are logging into the system. Only initial creations level, the keypad will use. Later on, after that, we don't want to use the keypad. We have a dedicated username and passwords we have. You can use that to log into your Windows or Linux systems. So keypads only temporarily. Securely, you can connect to your Windows instance after creation. Network interfaces. Network interfaces are very, very important. Every instance will be creating on the hypervisor on the EC2, right? That will be communicating to instance instance to others by using this network card only. So every system we have a network control panel, okay? NCPA.cpl. You have a wireless adapter and wire adapter, okay? Similar way, this is a virtual machine, this is a virtual adapter to connect to the internal and external network. So maybe if one server we can create a more than one network interface also can maintain for high availability, fault tolerance, and a load management. Yes, we can create. If you have a huge load, will be connected by the users to the server, then you can create more than one network adapter. So how to create a network adapter? Suppose, uh, where is the servers instances? This is the instance, the instance number 1, right? I'm going to start this. Now the cluster 1 and cluster 2 server, I'm going to terminate. I don't want that. See, this NVW16 server, we have action, network, okay? Attach network interface, okay? We can see this. We can add, you can add like this. Right now, there's no adapter is available to add to this server. So now I'm going to instances. I'm going to create a new network interface, okay? Demo. And this instance will be running on 1B, right? Auto assign security group, default security group only created. What happened? Okay. 1B. Additional network adapter. Create interface. See, this is the way we are creating, and now this will be also working as a network adapter, and we can deliver the connection. So now I think this is also created, guys. See, So now two adapters are there. If anyone is looking for additional network adapter, so go to the instance and you can go to action, network, attach network interface. See, two network adapters are there. Now I'm selecting the second one and attach. So now the singles are with the two adapters. So we have a better communication. So now I'm taking the public IP address, MSTSC. Next, administrator, and connect, RDP, see, now two network adapters are there. By default, only one network adapter, right? For the instance, now second adapter. Are you clear? Two IP address will be there. Private IP address will be two IP address. If you want remove, it is in use, right? Action, deassociate address. Select the public IP address to deassociate. Unnecessarily, you don't want to get a internet connection, you can remove it. And if you want to detach from the instance, you can please detach it. One card is removed. Like this, you can easily manage your network adapters. I'm going to delete additionally whatever the network adapters I created. I'm going to delete. So after the instance will be deleted, I can remove, not an issue. So this is the IP address assignment. Here only the private IP address assignment will be there. If you want to assign new IP address, you can click this. So going forward, I will take the IP address basic classes, public IP address, private IP address, classes, communications, subnetting. So in that area, you'll understand. Okay. So that's it for today's class. Now can start ask your questions one by one. No questions? Thank you all.